Good morning. Today is Wednesday, February 23rd, and I just woke up at Above the Clouds Hostel. It's around 6:30 in the morning, and it is currently pouring down, raining outside. Breakfast is probably going to be in another hour, and I'm probably going to see if this rain sort of settles down. I think it's supposed to rain until about 1 o'clock today. I might not stay here that long. I might decide to head out around 9 or 10. But my plan is to do 10.8 miles today to get to Neal's Gap, which is where Mountain Crossing is. That is where a lot of thru hikers will do their backpack shakedowns and get rid of things that they don't need. I am confident that I won't need to do that because I'm happy with everything I have. And I met a hiker here at the hostel named Christmas Tree. So he and I are going to try to book a cabin at Mountain Crossing and spend the night there, just because I think it's supposed to continue to rain tonight. So that's the plan so far. I will update you all after breakfast. It is really coming down outside, and I do not want to go out in that. Sorry, the laundry is going in the background. But I'm not really in a rush to leave at the moment because it's still pouring down rain. But I am going to start to get some of my stuff organized and packed up. I slept pretty well last night, and I was able to edit and schedule my getting to the AT video. So you all should have watched that by now. And I am looking forward to getting back out on the trail today, despite the rain. And hopefully I can sneak a view at Blood Mountain, but with so much cloud cover today, the odds are looking pretty slim. Well, it's a good thing I'm not in a rush to leave today because I accidentally left my shoes outside and they got poured on this morning. Lucky found them outside and he brought them in and they are just soaking wet. So I'm probably gonna spend another hour and a half to 2 hours trying to see if they can dry out before I take off. I'm not too worried about it though because I'm planning to get a cabin tonight at Mountain Crossing. So if they don't dry completely this morning, then I should be able to dry them tonight. But yeah, it's my first little mistake, but hey, that's okay. Shit happens, and I know better for next time, so whoops. All right, so just got dropped off back at Woody Gap. Got 10.8. Rude. Got 10.8 miles to do today. Starting off with just a little climb, and then I've got a big climb up to Blood Mountain today. And it looks like we're getting some somewhat clear skies, so I'm hoping that I can get a nice view from up there. So we'll see. All right, before I take off, we've got a little trail magic from some former AT thru hikers. We've got Meta, Grasshopper, and then this is Cookie Thief. And they brought us some trail magic. Well, not us specifically, but they brought trail magic to Woody Gap. So we were just lucky enough to get dropped off and we ran into them. So it's super nice. And thank y'all for doing this.
You're welcome. Glad to be doing it.
Totally. All right, so I'm on the move for today. Right as I was getting dropped off at Woody Gap, there were some hikers who had just hiked in where I came from yesterday. And part of me wanted to stop and speak to them for a little bit, but I know I need to get moving. So it's after 10 o'clock and Christmas tree, who I am staying in the Airbnb with tonight, left around 8:30, so he's ahead of me. Hopefully I can catch up to him. If not, I'll just see him at Mountain Crossing. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. The weather is really nice. All I have on is my hiking shirt and this hoodie, and I'm already feeling hot, so this hoodie might be coming off. But yeah, I'm trying to do a quick 5.6 miles, I think, to Jared Gap, and then I'll take a little break, and then I will make my way up Blood Mountain, which is close to, I think, 4,500 feet in elevation. Not quite that, but it's not far from it. So that's gonna be the big climb for today. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm so excited. My body's feeling good. I was really stiff last night in the hostel from sitting for so long and not really moving, but I got up this morning, did my stretches, and feeling pretty good. So I'm happy and ready for today. So yesterday I showed you that it was very foggy and couldn't really get any views. Couldn't see much aside from just the trail in front of me. But on a clearish day, this is sort of the view that I would have had. Well, I probably would have been facing this direction. And pretty much I followed this ridge line all the way around, and then I went down into Woody Gap, and that's where I got picked up yesterday. Glad to finally get some views. So I know it's only day 3, but I'm really excited to find the people who are going to become my trail family, or tramly as it's called. Like, I've met a lot of people in passing, but I haven't exactly met anyone who I have felt like hiking with, or we maybe don't keep the same pace. But yeah, I'm excited to see who I end up spending most of my time around. Whoever y'all are, I hope y'all are a lit bunch, because I'm ready to have some fun. And it's time to turn up and kiki and all that good stuff. So if you're out there and you want to hike with me, like, come find me. Let's make this a good time. Yeah, that's all I want to say. I don't know if you can hear it, but I stopped for a second to take a drink of water, and I started hearing this music playing softly in the background. Like, it's coming from behind me. And I stopped to think to myself, wait a minute, where is that music coming from? And I took a look at the map, and I saw that there's probably like a small town behind me. And I was like, oh, maybe that's like a church or something playing music. But I was like, that's so weird. Why would I be hearing music? But whatever it is, it's pretty nice. I don't know if you can hear it, but cool. So according to the AT guide, you cannot camp between Girard Gap and Neal Gap after March 1st without using a bear canister. So if there are any hikers starting later in the month of February or starting after March 1st, just be aware that you will not be able to camp along this stretch without having a bear canister. And I assume most of you will probably hike through it like I'm doing today, because it's only 5-point-something miles. But I think it's just better to pass it along to the folks coming behind you, just in case there's anyone who doesn't already know. So, yeah. We're making the final approach. And as you can already tell behind me, the views are gonna be pretty nice once I get up here. And I'm excited. Almost there. Almost there. Look what we got here. A nice view. First one. Period.
But with your gear, it's a one person.
We totally understand. We got a 3-person tent.
I know.
We were thinking there's no way we could fit.
Oh yeah,
in a
another
2-person
person.
tent. I don't think the two of us could fit in a 2-person tent.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, when I'm laying in there, I'm like, I don't even think I could fit 2 packs.
Making our way down into Neal's Gap. And I'm excited to take a look at mountain crossings. I've heard a lot about it. All right, so I made it to mountain crossing at Neal Gap. I checked out the store and it was pretty cool. But now I'm racing down to the little food stand where the cabins are so I can get me a chili dog before they close in like 25 minutes. And I'm probably gonna get me a little frozen pizza to cook tonight in the cabin. So I am good and starving, so I can't wait to get down there. All right, we made it to Blood Mountain Cabins. I'm so happy to be done for the day. And I'm even happier that I got something to eat. You know, most people, they say it takes like at least a week for their hiker hunger to kick in. And for me, it took 2 days. And I'm sure my mom will not be surprised to hear that. As soon as I got to mountain crossing, I had to grab the monster-sized Slim Jim. And I ate that right away. And then I ran down to the little general store closer to the cabins where I got a chili dog, more Slim Jims, and an entire pizza, which I'm going to eat in a little bit. And I'm going to enjoy every bite of it because I'm starving.
Are you serious? I'm watching. Here's what they say. Road is mysterious and important. Mysterious and important.
Okay, so it's pretty late. I know it's after 10, but I'm not exactly sure what time it is. Christmas tree is already asleep. He went to bed a little while ago. But I finally got done everything I needed to do tonight. As y'all saw, that pizza stood no chance with me. And I did all my stretches and everything. I've been playing around with some footage, trying to put together my first trail vlog. And yeah, today was a pretty solid day. Tomorrow we are taking off in the morning. I'm gonna do, I think, 11.4 miles to get to what is it called? Is it Low Gap Shelter? I think it's called. So yeah, we're gonna probably get up around 8 or so tomorrow because the store doesn't open until 9. We'll probably grab a couple things that we need to make it to Unicoi Gap. I think that'll be my next stop in a couple days. But yeah, this is going to do it for today. So I will see you all tomorrow. Good night. Morning. Today's Thursday, February 24th, I believe. And yeah, I'm kind of tired. I didn't sleep that well last night because I heard something running inside the walls. And it was freaking me out pretty much all night. At first I thought it was mice, but the footsteps sounded a little heavier. So maybe it was a pack of mice running together, or maybe it was something a little bigger like a raccoon, or I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm glad it stayed inside the walls because I was just tossing and turning. But yeah, it's looking to be a pretty nice day again today, temperature-wise, pretty close to 70 degrees. Some slight chances of rain in the morning, but nothing major. So my plan is to get to Low Gap Shelter today, which is probably 11.3 or 11.4 miles. So this will be my longest day so far, but it's really not that bad. And then tomorrow I'm planning to go into Unicoi Gap, and I've already made a reservation to stay at Hostel Around the Bend tomorrow night, which is another hostel that I've heard a lot about that I'm excited to check out. So yeah, that's the update for right now, and I will see you all once I head out. So I didn't even notice this yesterday, but this is the infamous shoe hanging tree where a lot of hikers get rid of their shoes that aren't really working for them. I won't be getting rid of mine. All right, so we are leaving mountain crossing. Gonna do 11.5 today to get to Low Gap Shelter. I don't think there's a whole lot of elevation change today, so it should be a fairly easy day. It's day 4, and I'm feeling the aches and pains of doing this every day. When I got out of bed this morning and my feet hit the ground, and they were just so sore and achy, and I really had to work them out this morning. My left foot is still a little achy, but my right foot feels perfectly fine. That tendonitis that I had probably has something to do with it, but we're okay. I think my body is just still getting used to this. I'm not in any sort of pain or discomfort that I feel like I should be worried about, so I'm cool. We just chilling, taking it one day at a time, and if I feel like something's wrong and I should stop and get it checked out, then I'll do that. But for now, we're gonna hike. All right, see you in a bit. So one thing I probably should have picked up from mountain crossing are gaiters. I used to be an advocate for gaiters, and I would not go on a hike without putting them on. And at a certain point, I just stopped reaching for them. But I can definitely feel these tiny rocks and twigs getting into my shoe, and it quickly becomes irritating. So maybe I'll pick pick them up at the next stop if they have them. So I should be at the next stop by Friday. I already made a reservation at the next hostel that I'm planning to stay at. So maybe they'll have some. We'll see. It's a beautiful overcast day. It's our first little view. Don't really know how many more we're gonna get today, but we'll see. Wow, look at that. Guess we're getting some views today after all. That is stunning. So I'm starting to feel my first hot spot on the outside of my big toe on my right foot. I thought I felt it last night in the cabin, and I was sort of rubbing that area with my finger to see if the skin was firm, and I think it is. Today, the more I walk, the more I can sort of feel it rubbing. So I think when I get to camp tonight, I'm just gonna throw some Leuko tape over it before it turns into a full-on blister. And that's the thing about through hiking. You got to take care of those feet because you're putting a lot on them every day. And if you don't, odds are you will not have a pleasurable experience. And there's also a chance that you might not even make it to whatever the end point for you is. So I want to make it. I've been doing everything in my power to ensure that I make it. So I'm gonna take care of my feet and any other part of my body that starts talking to me in funny ways. I'm gonna listen. I mean, I know I said earlier today should be a little easy, but dang, this next climb is looking a little steep and long. Anybody else ever had that moment when you're struggling up a steep climb, gasping for every breath, and a damn gnat heads straight for the back of your throat and you almost die? That just happened to me. Like, stay out of my mug, gnats. Can't y'all see I'm struggling to breathe enough? Whew, child. I don't know what I'm gonna do when it gets to be June, July, and it's like 100 degrees plus humidity. I might really die. I just wanted to be honest for a moment. I am attempting a through hike here, and I literally cannot pick up everyone's trash. However, I can make an effort to bring awareness to the trash that people are leaving behind, even if I can't pack it out myself. So, can we please try to do better? Thanks. Look at that.
Take a moment to catch them.
Oh, so cute.
All right, so far I've logged about 6.4 miles for the day. It's just after 1 p.m. So yet again, I'm making good time. Just have 4.6 miles left to go for the day. I just stopped at a little spring to get some water. So I'm gonna take a little rest for a couple minutes, drink some water, and continue on. And I probably won't eat lunch until I get to the shelter, just because it's still pretty early and I have been stacking a lot and I had a pretty full breakfast.
Hey,
It's all right. It's not really a great place to catch water from, but
Well, unfortunately, I drink all my water up the hill, so I don't really have a lot of choice.
yeah. I think this is the last source before.
It's less than 10 miles or whatever it is, yeah. 7 miles.
I didn't even see your AT tag before.
Yep.
Whew, Jesus.
It's hiding. I need to get a small bottle.
So it's Low Gap tonight, and Unicoi tomorrow. So I was just able to call Hostel Around the Bend. I made a reservation to stay there tomorrow night, and so they're gonna have a shuttle pick me up from Unicoi Gap tomorrow. So once I get to Low Gap Shelter today, I'm going to stay the night there, and then tomorrow I'll just have like an easy 9.7 miles to get to Unicoi Gap. So tomorrow should be a pretty easy day. And then one thing that Hostel Around the Bend does is slack pack through hikers. So basically what that means is that they'll hold my pack and most of my gear, and I'll use one of their day packs on Saturday, and I'll just carry some water and like some snacks and a little lunch. That's probably all I'll need on Saturday. And I'm going to hike from Unicoi Gap to Dix Creek Gap, which is like 16 point something miles. But since I'm not going to be carrying all this weight on my back, it should be a lot easier, and I'm not too concerned about like hurting myself or overdoing it since it's just one day. But yeah, then they're gonna pick me up from Dix Creek Gap on Saturday, and I'm going to stay a second night at Hostel Around the Bend. So that pretty much will put me a day ahead of my initial itinerary that I loosely planned out before I left home. Because before, I had planned 2 days to get from Unicoi Gap to Dix Creek Gap, but since Hostel Around the Bend is going to slack pack me, it'll only take me 1 day to get there. So for anyone starting after me, this might be an option for you. And don't let anyone tell you that slack packing isn't a part of through hiking, because it definitely can be if you want it to be. And I'm definitely going to do it, at least this time. All right, we are done for the day. And I'm pretty tired, so I'm glad. So as I'm setting up camp for the evening, I look around and look what I find. More garbage that people then left. Empty tuna packets. And then as I'm finding this stuff, I just happen to look up and look what I see. Yeah, we know what made these claw marks. Thankfully, there's a ridge runner down at the shelter. So I'm going to take all this stuff down there to give to her to throw it away, because ain't no bears coming around me where I sleep. Yeah, I'm about to go down there now to eat dinner. It's just down the hill, so let's do it.
It'll end up being cat and tiger from.
But I've also worked on trail crews. I've also done
Well, finished dinner and all my camp chores. I think it's maybe like 6:30, but I'm ready to crawl into my tent for the night. And I'm so glad I have service so I can look through comments, respond to messages, and work on a video. Okay, so earlier I was saying that I can feel a hot spot right on the outside of my big toe on this foot. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a piece of Leuco tape and put it right over that spot. So I shouldn't have any more rubbing tomorrow. So that's gonna do it for tonight. I am ready to go to bed. And I don't think I really have to get up too early tomorrow because I'm only doing like 9.7 miles. So I'll probably get up around 8 and try to be out by 9. But yeah, it's a pretty cool night. Not cold, but it's a little chilly, but it'll feel nice once I get under my quilt. Yeah, that's gonna do it. I will see y'all in the morning. So, good night. Hey, good morning. It's kind of raining again. It's been raining for a little while. I saw on the forecast that there was a chance of rain overnight. I was just hoping that maybe I would luck out, but looks like I'll be packing up a wet tent again today. It's about 7:30 and I'm about to go back down to the shelter to grab my food. And I'm not really gonna sit here and eat breakfast today. I picked up a breakfast essentials at Mountain Crossing, so I'm just going to get it to go. I've only got 9.7 miles to do today, and my shuttle will be picking me up from Unicoi Gap by 2 o'clock. If I can maybe get to the Gap before 2 o'clock, then they'll pick me up a little earlier. But I shouldn't really have a problem getting there in time. So yeah, this is day 5. Okay, so it's currently 9:15 and I am just getting out of camp. As you can see, it's pretty wet again today. I tell you, I struggle to find the motivation to get out of camp when it's wet. You know, packing up the tent is all muddy and your hands get all muddy and disgusting. As you can see, my tent is strapped to the top of my pack because I'm not even going to throw it inside with all my other stuff. But yeah, doing 9.7 miles today to Unicoi Gap. I haven't eaten breakfast yet just because I didn't feel like sitting in camp and eating. I have a little beef link in my hand, so I'm gonna eat that. And then I also have some breakfast essentials that I'm just gonna throw into my water bottle. I actually need to stop and get water, but there should be a source like less than a mile ahead, so I will make that there and then we will continue on. So this is day 5, Friday, February 25th. Let's go. Looks like the rain has finally let up for the day. It's just after 11 o'clock and I've got about 5.5 miles left for the day. I'm having a little more trouble today than what I initially anticipated, and it's not because I'm tired or low on fuel or anything like that. It's just my knee is still bothering me. On Tuesday, I started doing those stretches for IT band syndrome, and I started feeling some pretty immediate relief. But then on Wednesday, by the time I got to the top of Blood Mountain, I started having another flare up, so I stretched again, and the pain sort of subsided as I was coming down Blood Mountain. And then yesterday, I started off the day with a little bit of pain, but within the first 1.5 miles, 2 miles, it went away, and I was fine for a while. And then around mile 7, 8 yesterday, it started flaring up again, and it hasn't gone away since then. And I've still been stretching it. I think when I get into Hiawassee today, I'm going to need to pick up either a brace or a compression sleeve or some KT tape, something to give me a little more support. And I'm probably gonna ice it pretty aggressively tonight in the hostel, and then again tomorrow night, since I'm staying in the hostel 2 nights. And I'll just continue to do my stretches throughout the day, and hopefully this issue subsides within the next 1.5 weeks, because I am not gonna make it if this gets worse. And this was honestly my biggest fear, having something happen with my body which would keep me from getting to Katahdin. I can't let that happen, so I'm gonna do everything I need to do to nip this in the bud. And thankfully I haven't had any tendonitis issues in my foot, so I'm feeling pretty good there. But this knee is gonna kill me. Starting the only real climb today up Blue Mountain. So the trail basically winds up. And then after that, it's just straight down into Unicoi Gap, and I'll be done for the day. I made it to Unicoi Gap. And with 15 minutes to spare, can't wait for the shuttle to get here to get me out of here and into Hiawassee so I can rest up, do my first big resupply, and eat some food. Definitely that. All right, so we found home for the night. Gonna head into town in a little bit to do a little resupply. So I'm giving this compression sleeve a try to see if I can flush out some of this fluid in my left knee. It's definitely flaring up today, and by the time I got to the hostel, it was pretty swollen. And I'm also gonna try out some stretches that a few other hikers suggested to see if that helps. Okay, so a quick update before I head to bed. A bunch of us went into Hiawassee to resupply. We thought we were gonna go to a Dollar General, but it turns out they were closing right as we got there. So we decided instead to go to the Inglewood supermarket, or Ingles supermarket, my bad. So yeah, I got about 3.5, close to 4 days of food. I'm not really gonna need to use it just yet because tomorrow I'm gonna do some slack packing. So pretty much the hostel owners are gonna drive me back to Unicoi Gap, and I'm going to hike 16.5 miles to Dix Creek Gap, and then they're gonna pick me up from there and bring me back here, and I'm gonna stay here another night. And they were gracious enough to give me a little day pack that I could use. So while I was at the grocery store, I just grabbed a few things that I'll be snacking on tomorrow, but it should be a pretty easy day. Everyone's just kind of hanging out now, and we're all having a lot of fun, but I've got to start to work on editing a few videos because my first one is supposed to be going up in a couple of days, and I have barely started yet. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm probably gonna go to sleep. But for now, I will see y'all in the morning. All right, good morning, y'all. Today is Saturday, February 25th, and we are back at Unicoi Gap. I had a great stay last night at Around the Bend Hostel. And as I mentioned yesterday, today we are doing some slack packing. So this little pack behind me is all that I'm carrying today. And I'm so glad about that because today is going to be my biggest day mileage-wise so far. So basically I will be hiking 16.5 miles today to get to Dix Creek Gap. And once I arrive there, Gordon, who works for Around the Bend, is going to come pick me up and take me back to the hostel, and I will stay there again tonight. So yeah, I'm ready to get going. We've got 3 pretty difficult climbs today. I know there's Kelly Knob, there's Trey Mountain, and then this first one that I forgot what the name of it is called, but I will probably throw the text in here somewhere. But yeah, it's just after 7:30, probably 7:45, and it's a little chilly this morning, but I'm sure I'll warm right up with this first climb. So let's not waste any time and let's get going. All right, so we got the first climb of the day done. That was Rocky Mountain. And man, look at this view. Compared to my normal pack with all that weight in it, it feels like I am carrying nothing. I mean, the climbs are still challenging, but not nearly as challenging as they would be if I had 25 pounds on my back. You can't even see this little thing. It's so small and light. And all I have in here are some snacks for the day. my water filter so I can get water, and my rain jacket just in case I get a little cool. But yeah, this will be my biggest day so far, and the only way I could do this many miles in a day is with a super light pack like what I have on. So I'm ready to knock these miles out and get back to the hostel so I can lay back down. Let me be careful about trying to film while I'm going downhill. I don't want to take a wrong step or a bad step and twist something, because that would not be pleasant. But I was talking to a bunch of other hikers at the hostel last night, and it turns out we're all having knee problems, child. Everybody's got some sort of knee pain or discomfort. A few of us were describing similar IT band issues, and we were all just passing around nuggets that we got from other hikers about different stretches and exercises and different ways to not only mitigate the pain but to relieve some of it without having to rely on ibuprofen. So thankfully the hostel sold compression sleeves, so I bought one for myself. I'm not wearing it right now, but I'll probably be wearing it at night to go to sleep, to flush a lot of that fluid and inflammation out of my knee. But right now I have on some KT tape, which I also picked up at the hostel, and I'm trying to see if this will help give me a little bit of extra support. Starting off the day, I'm not feeling super terrible. I mean, my knee just started aching right before I started recording. But so far, I've been doing better than I have over the last couple of days. So I'm just gonna stick to my stretches, keep using this KT tape for as long as I feel like I need it, keep doing compression sleeve at night. Every now and then I'll probably like ice my knee as well, but I don't want to ice it too much because sometimes icing can cause more problems or just make it worse. But I think tonight I might do like a cool compress with an ice pack. But yeah, it makes me feel a little better to know that pretty much everybody is out here struggling in some way, shape, or form. Time to start the biggest climb of the day up to Trade Mountain. It's approximately 2.5 miles and about 4,400 feet in elevation. Here we go. I think that might be the summit up there. I've still got a little ways to go, but we'll get there. So I just walked through Trey Gap a few minutes ago, which is basically a little parking lot about halfway up the mountain. And when I got there, I ran into a ridge runner. And this is actually the second ridge runner that I've met in the last couple of days. I met Moxie a few days ago, and then today I just met Chelsea. They work for the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, and basically what they do is they go around maintaining different sections of the AT. So they'll pick up trash, they'll check on the privies to see how they're holding up, they'll walk the grounds to see how the trail is looking and if there are any obstructions like large fallen trees that need to be cut. And they do a lot of great work, and they get to spend a good portion of the year out here doing stuff like what I'm doing. And Chelsea and I got to talking about job opportunities, and that may be something that I decide to look into once I finish this trek. So we shall see, but I just think it's so cool what they're doing, and I appreciate the ATC for everything they do, even though a lot of people seem to not really like them. But I have respect for them. As someone who loves being out here and someone who loves trails, I appreciate any organization who is working to make trails better for all of us. So yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that. We got a summit. Yes. Period. Honestly, that climb wasn't so bad. The map makes it look like it is so steep and just never ending, but I got up here pretty quick. And I feel like I could have easily done that with my full pack on with all my gear, although it might have taken me a little bit more time. But anyways, it's a little cold up here, so had to throw the layers back on. And now to make my way back down the other side into the next gap, I'm going to slurp on a little peanut butter packet on my way down, and then once I reach a lower elevation where it's less windy and cool, I will stop to eat something else and do a few more stretches. So I've done about 11 miles so far, maybe a little more than 11. I have 5.5 more to go. It's just after 1:30, so I have plenty of time to get it done. Although if my knee wasn't still bothering me, I would probably be close to being done by now. I really need to figure out what is causing all of this. And I need to figure it out fast and nip it in the bud. And I don't really want to take a zero yet. I wasn't planning to take my first zero until I got to Franklin in another 3.5 days. But we will see. I passed some other hikers today, ones who recognized me for my channel. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I am eating. I just ate that cookie, and then I am eating the rest of my Italian sub that I got from the deli yesterday when we went to the supermarket. I'm probably gonna do some more stretches after I finish, and then take off again and try to get these last few miles done. I know there's a climb up Kelly Knob, which basically happens as soon as I leave where I'm at. And then there's another small climb up to Powell Lookout, I think. Then after that, it's just down into Dix Creek Gap, and then I'm done for the day. So yeah. Kelly Knob is kicking my ass. It just won't end. This probably looks flat on camera, but trust me, it is not flat. Whew. Finally made it up and over Kelly Knob. And now I'm at Powell Mountain Vista. It's pretty much all downhill from here. Another 2.5 miles to get down to Dix Creek. And then I'll be back at the hostel. Whew, child, today done wore me out, honey, okay? 16 and a half miles. Even slack packing, it's still exhausting. I mean, I went up and over 4 mountains today, and all of them were challenging. Sheesh. Had I had my full pack on, it would have taken me easily 2.5 to 3 days. Well, no, 2 days to get through this section, but I probably would have been in a lot more pain than I am right now. I am super excited to get down into the parking lot, to get picked up by the shuttle, and to go back to the hostel to rest because I am tired. And I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night because I was up past midnight editing a video, and I think I'm gonna get started on the next video tonight, so might not get a whole lot of sleep tonight, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm just tired, so I'm gonna try to hustle and bustle and get down off this mountain so that I can get off these feet. See you in a bit. I finally got some trail magic. Yay! Look at this.
They drop these off, so.
I think I remember hiking up and down there. All right, so it is really late. It's like 10:30, and I am really tired. Slack packed 16.5 miles today to get to Dix Creek Gap. I'm so glad that as soon as I got there, I ran into some trail angels offering trail magic. So I got my first little bit of trail magic today. Yay. And tomorrow should be pretty exciting because I will be crossing over into North Carolina. So we're done with Georgia. And hopefully pretty soon my body will be done with all the aches and pains, but we'll just have to see about that. So yeah, this is gonna do it for this video. I will see y'all tomorrow. Good night.